Welcome to Meaningful Mornings. Technically, we all struggle with three vices. They are mala, vikshepa, and avidya. In English, mala, impurity. Vikshepa, projection. Avidya, forgetfulness. In Sanatana Dharma, there are specific maps or manuals on how to reconcile these vices. For impurity, it is karma yoga. For projection, it is upasana yoga. And for forgetfulness, it is jnana yoga. Now, I'll share this in a more relatable way. If Vivek is struggling with impurity and he practices karma yoga, Vivek will feel more clarity. Clarity about who I am, what I'm supposed to do. If Vivek is struggling with projection and I practice upasana yoga, then I will feel more conviction. Conviction that this is how to live. And if Vivek is struggling with avidya or forgetfulness and I practice jnana yoga, then I will feel more confident that my nature is joy and it doesn't matter about context. In Meaningful Mornings, we are trying to nurture more clarity, more conviction, more confidence. Many times in Srimad Bhagavatam, a message is shared is that if you're engaged in living without nurturing bhakti, these matters of clarity, conviction, confidence, if you're living without nurturing bhakti, shrama eva, you're not living, you're laboring, like a machine labors. Prince Arjuna does have the conviction that divinity is one's purpose and not articles, beings, and circumstances. He has this conviction. He doesn't have confidence yet, but he has this conviction, which is why in chapter 11, in this prayer section, he wants to be closer to Sri Krishna. The closer one is to Sri Krishna, the more confident one is. And Sri Krishna shares with him how he can be close to Sri Krishna, and that is nimitta, instrumentship. That's the noun. The verb is to serve. To serve every responsibility like this is what Sri Krishna has assigned, has designed you to do. What will happen if you become an instrument? In our parenting culture space, I was recently sharing the value of sama. Sama means balance. How does one become balanced? It is by serving. When you serve, you only get. When Vivek serves his family, his community, etc., I am the beneficiary. How? I think I become more disciplined. I think I become more compassionate. What a system where I only get. That getting, though, is not material, it is immaterial. And if you're tuned into this, when you serve, you get that which is immaterial, you feel more mighty. How did you feel mighty or confident? By doing what is right, by having the right attitude. Clear. In a recent verse, verse 42, a beautiful word is kshamae. Prince Arjuna is praying for forgiveness. I'm asking the same. I misspoke recently about sharing how last year the oil and gas companies earned 4 trillion in profit. It was 4 trillion in revenues. It is important to me that every detail be accurate, because so much of what we're exposed to is this proliferation of inaccuracies. This is how forgetfulness, gossip, etc. begins. So kshamaye to all of you. In verse 43, a beautiful word is guru. Prince Arjuna feels Sri Krishna is his guru, which he is. A guru technically means the one who removes darkness. Now, our darkness is not outside. Here, the sun is rising as if earlier until next week when daylight savings time kicks in. There's no darkness outside. The darkness is inside. So how a guru removes this darkness is through guidance. They guide a seeker to be more light-footed, light-hearted, light-headed, meaning reflective. In verse 44, a beautiful word is priya. Priya means dear. Sri Krishna is the most dear to Prince Arjuna. Before we end this semester, we are going to explore 20 critical values that are needed to feel Sri Krishna. This will come in chapter 13. One of the values is anabhishvanga. Generally, this means not to be clingy. In our spaces, we've defined this as objectivity. To be objective in your relationships. Now, we struggle in our relationships with expectations. We have expectations because we feel incomplete. How can one feel more complete? Through sadhana. Sadhana is the means. Sadhya is the ends. That's joy. If we are to feel all of our relationships are priya, I have to engage in sadhana so I feel more complete, so I have less expectations of my relationships. That's how to be closer to Sri Krishna. Yesterday, I had asked all of you to sit at your altar. And I appreciate that many of you did. In instructional design, instructional teaching, one of the practices is for people to present. It helps them to learn. So when I ask you to do this, this is for your own learning. An altar alters one's life. A-L-T-A-R, A-L-T-E-R. An altar is an ideal. It's a vision statement. When sitting at your altar, we had all chanted outside and inside, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. In a very simplistic way, what we are thinking with our mind is Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We're thinking Bhagavan Krishna, Namaha means not me. As long as I think me, I will be the cracked Prince Arjuna. As long as I think Bhagavan Krishna, not me, I will become the confident Prince Arjuna. Occasionally, when you were sitting and chanting, I had opened my eyes to make sure everything's working well with the phone and the computer. And seeing all of you really brought tears to my eyes. And so I had to quickly close my eyes. I often share with seekers to never hold yourself back when it comes to your devotional emotions. If you want to cry, cry. If you want to beg, beg. I only hold myself back because I have to keep teaching. So I'm sharing with all of you how lovely being with all of you is regularly, especially yesterday. Verse 45. These are the last two prayers of Prince Arjuna. Adrishtapurvam hrishitosmi drishtva bhayena cha pravyatitam mano me tadeva me darshaya deva rupam prasida devesha jagannivasa. The English. I'm delighted, having seen what was never seen before, and yet my mind is distressed with fear. Show me your precious form only, O God. Have mercy, O God of gods, O abode of the universe. Prince Arjuna is experiencing Hrishta, which means he's delighted, yet Pravyatita, which means he's afraid. Delighted and afraid. What this means for us is when you engage in self-development, like being part of Meaningful Mornings, but more specifically for anyone who practices contemplation, you're letting go of the body and breath and mind, and you feel delighted. But then what happens? You come back to thinking about what will happen to me if I change too much? Who will drive this person to work? This is what's happening with Prince Arjuna. Instead of staying in that delight, his vasanas are pulling him back. His attachments are holding him back. For him, for us, what is still more important? The functional instead of the fundamental. And so what we have to reflect on with this verse, what is normal? What should be normalized is the delight. Make sense, everyone? It's your own experience. In our recent Upanishad class, I said, if you're tuned into awareness, stay there. Why would you leave awareness? To make more money, to post something on social media. That's that lack of conviction. Prince Arjuna has conviction, but not confidence. Next. Kiritinam gadinam chakrahastam ichchami tvam drashtumaham tateva tenaiva rupena chaturbhujena sahasrabaho bhava vishwamurte. The translation. I desire to see you as before, crowned, bearing a mace with a discus in hand, in your former form only, having 4 arms, O thousand-armed, O universal form. Prince Arjuna is seeing Sri Krishna with 1,000 arms, but he wants to see him with 4 arms. This Pravyatitam is really lowering Prince Arjuna's vision. What Pujya Swami Tejomayananda shared about this verse is Shri Krishna's arms, there are 4, they symbolize our purposes in life. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha, or position, possession, pleasure, peace. And then whatever we want in life, there is an arm for that. Shri Krishna will support you. And more practically, Prince Arjuna is unable to contemplate on Shri Krishna's Vishwarupa, so he's asking him for his Ishtarupa. It is practical to contemplate on your Ishtarupa, your personal form. That does have to evolve to an uncontrolled environment. You can't just be happy in meaningful mornings. Not that some of you look happy right now, but you can't just be happy in meaningful mornings. You have to be happy when meaningful mornings is completed also. The uncontrolled environment. From inspiration to application. Your application was to be at your altar. And I've already shared with you, presenting is a way to learn. Your application for this morning, including the Sankalpa Vakya or the summary verse, we are in the final 10 verses of chapter 11. On March 19th, we will complete chapter 11. On March 20th, we'll start chapter 12. Your application is, what is this chapter meant to you? What is your prayer? We've completed 11 of Prince Arjuna's prayers. What about you? What are you feeling? Shanti, Shanti, Shantihi. Be safe, be sound, be serene, be joy.